Forrest will be taking up the Sova duties.
Okay, and we're going to see Lawrence, of course, was subbed in place of Alex, so Lawrence will be playing that Jet. Ana not on the Reyna, this time going to be playing a bit further back with the Killjoy, and Outlaw, who is staying for Haven, will now be playing Astra. Outlaw, for those who haven't been following, was making his first appearance with the roster today. Played Sage earlier, now we'll be playing Astra here on Haven. So we'll see how that works out for Noble Experience, this being their map pick, surely, something that they're pretty comfortable with in terms of preparation.
All right, well, with that out of the way, seems like we are going to be ready to hop straight into the game here. Let's see who comes out on top.
Outlaw looks happy there on stage, so he seems ready to go for map 2. I like to see it.
Having a whale of a time, you know? Finally getting to make his little debut here for Noble up on stage. Let's hope that with the second map, he'll be able to find a win. Otherwise, that'll be a pretty bittersweet debut day. But guys, we are ready with that music. That means we are hopping into Haven. I know you guys have been jumping at the bit for it. Let's go ahead and get straight into the map.
So this will also mean that it's the first time that Noble's playing with an Astra here on Haven, and I think actually just in general. So see how well prepared Outlaw is on that. They've played a couple different variations here for Haven, but now with the Astra, just a single duelist. See if they can make it work as they start on attack.
Yeah, last time they played, Yudotan was on Omen, so this is, you know, a fairly major shakeup for them. Noble moving into garage. Do get darted there for just a moment. Intents around the corner. Spots out one. Oh! Gets the dismiss. Actually finds Lawrence and not Revy, who is the lower HP member. As he pushes out onto the side, gets a headshot there to Inted. Traded out, but Ana pressing forward with Frenzy in hand. Will find a kill. Johan gonna be falling. NEOX around the back. Doesn't take any damage as he finds that kill. See how he can play this out. Does have the tail one? No, that wasn't it, NEOX. That was not the move.
Wow, I was not expecting that. Out of all the possibilities that could have happened in that 1v2, that tailwind in with no other information was not it. I did also find it interesting that they just didn't stick the plant when it was a 3v1. I know they were low health, so I think they were just afraid of getting peeked right around the corner without all the information. But eventually, they will secure the round win. So Noble Experience feeling pretty good coming into the second map and starting off with a W on the board.
Yeah, it's a solid beginning for them. See how that shifts now into the second round, because RYU, they do have some surprises up their sleeve, namely this Marshall just holding the corner. Oh, pulls out a line of sight right as the peek comes in.
Yeah.
Oh, this is potential collateral, but never mind. He won't nail the shot. Lawrence gets himself out in onto the site. Kind of goes past that cloudburst, but it doesn't matter. Will not get tagged up. It's a little bit of damage in on the Johan, so now he's going to be operating at about 74. Trailblazer goes in, does get the daze. Hawk goes flying through, but no! Revy pushes the smoke. Might not matter, though, because Lawrence has found 2 kills.
Yeah.
Now, Nano Swarm's set up. It's one of them. He may be still holding on to the second. Yep. Still does have another one. See, it's situated. Bright blue. Will finish that one off. Insta-pop comes out onto the second one as Ana tosses that one forward. But Johan, trying to reload, and Ana will manage to take him out, but Bright blue is fast on the reply. Shock dart now going in. That's a finish there onto the enemy Cypher. Outlaw will spray down Sorest, and with 3 members retaining their weapons, Noble will go ahead and close out 2 rounds. That's as many as they got on Icebox, so they've already tied that up.
Oh, boy. Well, yeah, like you said, much better start for them. And, I mean, with the heavy investment into the Spectres, getting to keep 3 feels pretty good. I'm really good value on Revy using that Trailblazer, but then, unfortunately, kind of blinded himself as the guiding light didn't quite make it out of that smoke. They make it happen, though. I mean, RYU had a good read. They kind of suspected this push into B potentially. We saw Bright Blue wanting to get a bit aggressive in garage. They had the Marshall ready. They just weren't able to get that first pick, and afterwards, obviously, you just have to back out and give the site away.
Trailblazer does not spot As NeilX is just situated here on top of the box, he's playing around the cloud burst as best as possible.
Oh!
He snaps right onto Lawrence's head, even gets some blind shots through the smoke there onto Revy. Now, maybe he didn't quite notice where the guiding light came from. You can see him spring through that wall, so.
Just wants to check if she's still there. That Sky now stuck in the cubby.
Why am I not playing Raze right now? I just nade him out. Into We'll throw the Leer, they go for the push, there's the cleanup as NeilX will get him through the wall in the end for 3 on the round. Ace is still possible. Deep lurk here for Big Johan over at C Long. Well, the spike is being brought into the garage with the start. Out onto the site, this should be the call for everybody else to start rotating over.
Yep, NeilX just stomping through.
Oh, he spotted on it too. He's gonna pull back. Spike not yet going to be planted. NeilX. Oh, the ace is very much possible. He's going for it. It's not going to happen. Intel wins for it. Now Yudoton manages to find 2, but can't make it a third. And it will strike him down, and RYU will win out on the 3rd round.
Just something about tailwinding into Seaside not working out for NeilX today.
Yeah, a little too antsy.
That time he just really wanted that ace. And
I mean, I get it.
Yeah, I mean, you had 4 kills. You still have plenty of your teammates left alive. Yeah, I get it. It's just happening 2 rounds off of the first 3 is just kind of funny.
Just slancy, you know? He had a great start to the round after the long pause to even get into this map. There's popping as a potential for an ace. Really get you jazzed up, so I can see, see somebody wanting to go for it, but it is a pretty hilarious turn of events. Ana, however, does have this lockdown available, and obviously Sorrist is still very far away from the Hunter's Fury.
Oh man, Ana placing that alarm bot, recalling it right away. Just to see if there's any reaction from it. The turret earlier, of course, kind of being misplaced. Now being called back.
Hug into the corner. Nothing to worry about. Cleared from Havit. Lawrence making his way out on the site. Will manage to find Antid, but Ana does fall on the entry to the garage. Spike has been brought up onto C, however. Will get planted. Advantage there. They're not quite there, but now it is. Very much so. As NeilX and Bright Blue will both fall. Outlaw going for the reload. Manages to get the weapon drawn back out to finish off Big Johan. So wrist in the back. Does get dazed by that Trailblazer. Got his work cut out for him, but he's also dealing with just 2 low HP members. So it's very possible that he could find these kills. The dart actually goes into the box, not into Revy, so could have repositioned. Here's the Hawk. Goes for the spray down, manages to find him. Now 14 HP remaining. On the jet, goes for the tap, but he's not looking over towards Long. Sees the updraft, knows that he needs to hold this. Spray, starting to cut through, and Lawrence will get him in the head. Seemed like maybe for just a moment he was going to be able to just stick that out, but Noble Experience will go ahead, turn it back around, just making sure that there's no momentum build here for RYU.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty dicey at the end, but Lawrence getting out after he took a lot of damage initially just to cover the lurk in the flank down C Long works out, pays off for them, and just good spray through the cloud burst as well. So not much Sorrist could do after he doesn't get the first peek down C Long. Of course, he was kind of more focused on the garage. Bit unfortunate there, but not to worry too much. I mean, this round it's going to be the Sheriff, so we'll see what damage RYU can do. Afterwards, they'll have quite a few ults to work with. They might
so
be aggressive.
Bright
Blue gets a kill here. He might be able to make something happen.
Oh, no. The day's right around the corner, and that is just the B site now completely broken open. Lawrence makes his way up. Gets the spike planted here at default. And now they can just go ahead, pull back. 3v5 with Sheriffs, and NeilX down to 40 HP. Very much good luck to you, gents.
Yeah, they still have that 1 nanoswarm extra and the 2 shock boats, so everything is fine and dandy. You've got your behinds covered as well, as you see Outlaw just looking behind them. And worse comes to worse, NOX has all of their ultimates available.
Almost a bit of a botch there from Revy, but he does manage to stabilize, gets the shot off, doesn't take any damage.
Make sure.
Yeah, given how fast this is ticking, they got to get away. Whereas Sorrist and NeilX, they are happy to just go ahead, be absorbed by the spike. And it's now going to be 4-1. A very solid start on the attacker side here for Noble.
Yeah, I mean, this is almost looking like the reverse of what we saw on Icebox, just in terms of how comfortable both teams look. I mean, so far, RYU, sure, that last one, as they take a tactical timeout. Again, good to see some of those earlier tactical timeouts. You know, RYU, they've just kind of been playing pretty standard. Obviously, that last round, they played aggressive with the Sheriffs. But I'm interested to see if they switch things up a little bit, just in terms of maybe stacking a bit more on one side or the other, to show if they have any reads on RYU, or if they always have to just rely on default and then work the retake, right? I mean, that can get a little dicey, especially if you lose one member. That's retreating a bit too late on the site.
Yeah. Well, things are about to get a little bit dicey here, as we've got 5 ultimates available for Noble and 4 for RYU.
Yeah, there are now a couple on both sides that you can't use too reliably, right? I'm always questionable about the Astra ultimate, to be honest. It seems like it's so hard to make the perfect placement, right? Like, in theory, you know how to do it, but the way it rotates and such, you always see some slight mistakes on the lineups, even in pro games. So I'm always curious to see if that's going to work out well. I mean, that Trailblazer just got full value.
Yeah, it just undid absolutely everything for them. I mean, you know, having Bayohan in the back, take a couple Sheriff shots to clear the turret, not the worst thing if Bright Blue can get the jump on them, but the Trailblazer just completely botches it for both.
Ooh, aggressive push out mid again.
Yeah. Oh, NOX. This could be huge.
They have no idea. I mean, all the attention drawn from Inted, really well done from RYU so far.
Nobody has eyes.
Gosh.
Over on window right now. They get Saurus. That might lure them into a false sense of security now, but the Seeker actually moves around the back. He pushes in, does manage to find Outlaw. Wants to just exit away. Lockdown is used, and Cubby outside of B. Bright Blue now going to fall. 3v4 as they wait out this lockdown. Of course, nobody going to be detained here. NOX is just trying to hold it down. Will get spotted by that dart, has to pull back. Now the rest of the squad making their way out onto the site. I mean, NOX is still quite far away from helping contest this. Lawrence throwing down the Cloudburst, tries to go across. Shock dart doesn't go quite far enough, and Lawrence will clean up for Ana, will get the last. And that is going to be Noble continuing to move forward.
Honestly, Noble just not hesitating at all. As soon as they see the Seekers push people out, they just charge through B. And sure, you saw the one kill on the flank from NOX, but because of that fast movement, no one else was caught behind, and it didn't really matter that they didn't catch the Seeker wrapping around them immediately, because you lost the Astra. She got one smoke off to begin with, and then that's the job well done. Spikes planted. NOX, of course, has to just get out for his own safety.
I spy with my little eye of Bucky, so Bayohan is going to go get situated. I thought maybe he was going to move up C long, but it seems like he just wants to go ahead and play right at entrance. Looking to just avoid that turret.
Does get spotted.
Okay, well.
Oh, they still don't have it. Oh, they saw Ana pushes out. Noble Experience just does not wait. I mean, if they played any slower, things could go so awry for them. But as soon as they have information, they push out and they cover the corners for each other. So really well played.
Well, there's the Cosmic Divide now coming up, cutting off that CT axis as well as Heaven and Hell. The drone will go ahead and check the rest of the site. It seems like this is going to be a bit of a fake.
Ooh, and I like the way they did it, right? You had some placement in front of Garage to see if anyone's flanking around mid. You don't see that, but you presume there has to be movement after the Cosmic Divide, and especially after you got the kill on A long. So they just commit to the fake, and it works out perfectly. 3 members all on the other side of the map, now slowly creeping back in.
Yeah, 2 Sheriffs and a Bucky for the retake on C versus 5. Very much good luck. You need to see some incredible headshots and some weapon recoveries if they wanted to turn this one around. Just to check close, but yeah, it seems like this might just be a tick down on the spike, and then everybody kind of crashing in, looking to get that death bonus.
Yeah, so they're on the site, but of course everyone down long. Got the turrets there as well.
Fury.
Oh, they're just using everything this round.
Just pushes them off. I mean, Hunter's Fury, honestly, not going to be that costly. The blind is going to be good, as Bayohan says, I'll just charge forward, I'll try to finish them off. Doesn't manage to make it happen. Saurus will take one gun out of their hands, but that's as good as it gets. And 6-1, now 4 rounds straight for the side of Noble. This is just a complete inversion of what we saw on the first map of Icebox.
Yeah, exactly at 7 rounds, this would have been the same score. So, well done by Noble. And I really do like that they just kind of threw everything they had. I mean, you're pretty much just past the halfway mark of the first half. So, use those ultimate cycle through them as you try to keep the lead, rather than kind of sitting on them and then not finding a good place. Maybe you fall behind and the economy starts to get a bit out of balance. Obviously, not a concern right now. Inted.
Spots one. Is he ready for the double peek? No, they are not. Inted Bayon getting way too aggro. Get punished. And it's not even that much damage dealt. Revy's still going to be situated here. It will fall in the end as Bright Blue finds him, but just like that, RYU trying to get back in. They continue to over-aggress, and this is not what we were seeing from them at all on Icebox. They were the ones who were playing more patiently, just ready to set up, defensively and just hold angles. They're getting overzealous and punished at every twist and turn.
Yeah, it's so weird to see that, right? Because as you said, on Icebox, they just seemed so patient, so calm. Astoris tries to stay alive, not even going to be able to get one trade. But now it almost seems like the round score is starting to really pressure them, right, and chase them away from the shadows as they start to overaggress just in different places of the map. It doesn't all seem very synchronized either, right? It just seems like, a couple players are like, well, this time I'm going to push out B, or this time I'll push out C. Hopefully that's not the conversation, but that's what the result is when we're seeing the movement around the map. There's no other setup to cover for that. Now we're back to another hodgepodge of a buy from RYU.
All right, knives out. Blade Storm on the rush, Lawrence. Gonna shake things up a bit. Tailwind's forward, Paranoia crashes into him. Still manages to find Bayon soon as that Paranoia expires. Bright Blue will dome him. Tries to push back out around the corner. Instant comes in to peel just a little bit. Comes up with a follow-up kill, but now he falls. NeilX is gonna be gone. It's all on Soarist in a 1v2. He's very close. Pulls back away. He is guarded, but here's Ana with the lurk. Comes around from behind. And it just feels like there's not much at all that you can do here. I mean, granted, weapon disadvantage, but they're just getting torn apart.
Well, what I love seeing from Noble Experience as well is that you've noticed now that they start aggressing right down mid or down C, and so you just say, okay, well now their economy's broken again. Let's just push in. We have the knives, right, so that we can also cover any sort of counter aggression down C long, and then you just break into the site. Sure, you lost a bit, but your economy's so healthy, and as long as they're not stealing, keeping weapons, it's not going to be the end of the world. So Noble Experience now continues to keep RYU on their toes. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if RYU continues to look a bit lost in terms of their overall team play after that round, as NOX continues to show a different pace every round.
Yep. Trailblazer the check over towards A. Spike just outside of Garage for the moment.
Going to start inching in, though, as we see some noise being made on the side of A.
Pulls off that corner for just a moment. Really great dismiss. Inted gets a kill, gets the hell out, but Lawrence hounds him down. Bayon, however, will manage to finish him off through the smoke with that Guardian shot to the back of the head. Now it's just waiting this out. Creeping around the side. Spots him for just a moment. He will get rid of the Guardian, but still have Bright Blue in the back of sight. Blind comes through. He's just going to be spamming the angle. Push comes in. Revy strikes him down, but now is all on his lonesome as the spike will be planted. Sore wrist. It's only 11 HP, so this is absolutely clutchable for the Sky. Another blind comes through, sees the jet on the cross. Now gets started, and that dart could be his undoing. Falls so very low. The jump shot from NeilX will finish him off, and RYU will get this defuse off. They'll finally put a second round on the board. But can they keep that momentum going? Can they actually string this together into a consecutive second round? Because right now, they haven't been able to do it.
Yeah, hasn't happened.
Good. Their economy is still not great.
Yeah, and on top of that round, I mean, it was Inted, right? Inted getting that dismiss just in time to create enough space, bait them into the site where they want to try to secure the kill. That way Bayon can trade. I mean, this was just so instant. Doesn't even take any damage off of that, in fact. Just gets the instant dismiss, and Lawrence now has to go deep to try to trade for that kill. That gives all the time in the world for the rest of RYU to converge on C. So you made that work off of one player. How much more often can that happen? They're going to continue their same setup in A again, but now with the Cosmic Divide.
Cosmic Divide in yet again. TP out into long from beyond the check. He snaps back over to the C side. And Lawrence is just right in behind NeilX. So no value from that Blade Storm going to be found. You slow them up, but the site is unoccupied. Spike will get planted. Into now over does find a nice kill. And it's an interruption by the Hunter's Fury. Swings this one out, decides to check over towards short. Will not find him, but now the Neural Theft sees everybody. Spike planted, Cosmic Divide has expired. 4v3 for the retake of the A site.
This is pretty dangerous for NOX. They know that everyone's on the ground floor here in A.
Well, should have seen that over for just a moment. The drop down comes in, they get it behind Lawrence, and there's just not a damn thing that Yudotan can do. So RYU will go ahead. They finally get a second consecutive round. With only one more to go in the half, best they can hope for now is going to be an 8-4.
Yeah, I mean, if you can win out on the last rounds, though, not the end of the world, right? You get to keep the momentum, and 8-4, yeah, it's not ideal, but it's still a score you can work with, especially as you swap sides here on Haven and you get to go on attack.
Yep.
And you have that chance. So now we're going to see NOX just say, all right, let's try to close this out 9-3. That's an excellent position for them, especially as they'll be able to play things a bit safer on defense as well, looking at their composition, right? I mean, the Astra just, I think one of the biggest strengths of Astra is that, right? It's not an agent that's necessarily particularly suited for attack or defense. You're pretty flexible on both just with the coverage you have across the map, so we'll see how much more they can take advantage of that.
Yeah, I mean, you just kind of have to play Lurk and be impactful, you know, maybe not necessarily directly. Like, we do see, you know, some Astros like Zumba, Mako, who very much are involved in playing forward with their squad.
Sure.
But it's also not very uncommon to see Astros kind of playing back, playing away from the action, and just making sure that they have those stars in prime position, making sure that they're activating them to maximize the value out of the nebulas, out of the gravity wells. So Outlaw been doing a fine job, and you know, getting those two Cosmic Divides up. Doing decently for his squad, but just the rest of the team, they're just, you know, held off there for a little bit too long. It's a good retake from RYU.
Yeah, I mean, when you have two people kind of covering the other side to either create space or get picks, and they both die, that's... Oh, nice shot!
And that's the Spike spotted as well, so they know it's hovering over at the A site right now. Blind comes in, pull back from Revy, just picks it up, he'll rotate away from here. Well, maybe we would see just a full shift from NeilX, but he's just going to be moving over to long to keep the lobby. Oh, alarm bot. Oh, Brightblue tries it around a cyber cage, and in the middle of that animation, does get domed. It's in, clearing the side, will find one, takes it as miss, goes invisible, pops out, but just can't clear the corner. Ana very much privy to where he was going to be going, finds that elimination, and now advantage is there for Noble. Try to close this out 9-3. Revy is able to top Yudotan back up. He was down to, I believe, 14 health. Oh, on the back of the dart. They press in. Ana finds a third. Nanoswarm thrown down. Can't clear it fast enough. NeilX now just time bought.
Nope. He does swap out to the Phantom off of the Vandal, just trying to make sure he can play a bit closer, but things aren't looking so hot.
No, not at all. Nanoswarm already going to be popped, but he's just running out of time. He says, you know what, I got to eat some of this damage. Goes in, wants to get the stick, but yeah, they've got the spray through. Very nicely done here from the side of Noble to close out the half 9-3. A major response after a lopsided first map.
Yeah, Breeze is looking pretty good on the forecast right now as Noble Experience tries to take this map 2 after a tough loss on Icebox in map 1. And I love the way they played it. I mean, there wasn't too much variance, right? It was pretty, there was a pretty strict pattern, but they were able to take advantage of the fact that RYU also just seemed to be in shambles for the first part of this half. So we'll see if RYU can actually recollect themselves. The way they played on Icebox, like you mentioned in the middle, Achilleos, they were just so calm and collected. And here they started aggressing without much of a system or much of a foundation, it seemed. Now an attack, obviously that can be a bit more favored on a map like Haven. We'll see if they're going to change things up. Looks like they're going to go for the same 3-1-1 here, even on the pistol round.
I hear the dart being taken. Decide to keep their position obscured and ambiguous, so they don't go spraying through. Guiding light down into short will reveal that there's at least somebody hovering nearby, as well as that drone forward onto the site. Yudotan now going to look to match. Dives down into the smoke. Into the check, and we'll see at least one.
And you see them backing out, so this is going to signal over to Noble Experience to maybe reposition. And now they're going to double back on themselves. Noble Experience says, you know what, this was probably a fake. And we're going to see Outlaw rejoin on A. So they're now stacked 3 on A as well. And the read looks like it might be correct. The spike is still hovering around A.
Yeah. Shifting back over, so 3-man stack could end up being
this is
very beneficial.
It's very slow for RYU right now, and at this point, you have to commit to this return to A. You see the ping going down as well. I don't think they expect Noble Experience to be as well prepared. NEOX needs to get this first kill.
Oh, and Bright Blue might get caught in mid here just a moment. Just waiting to be. Dart finding some good value. Yudotan will get tagged up a bit through the spray. Zorez presses up. Oh! Yudotan comes up with 3 to shut him down. Bayon does not stand a chance. And the Sova kicks things off with 4 kills in the second pistol round.
Oh my gosh.
Unbelievable.
I thought it was going to go the complete opposite way. He was tagged a bit off of that dart. Of course, you lost your teammate. You lost Revi on the other side. And then, wow, Yudotan just holds his ground. Watch this again. I mean, he is just patient until the last moment, and he's lined up perfectly.
Oh, God. Right click is broken.
Yeah, he gets the double on the first
One
right
click. Yeah, 2 kills, and then immediately into a third.
Wow.
Brutal. All right, well, that's a frenzy. This is an instant dink onto Inted. There's no way to top him up. Needs to get an assist. Push on the corner. Oh, the blind is in. They will manage to find that kill. Inted, though, not participating, so cannot get that overhealing coming through. So he and Bright Blue are both going to be left in shambles as far as their HP bars are concerned. So Spike's now planted. Massive weapon advantage, obviously, there for the side of Noble. 20 around the corner as Yudotan takes some shots. Felix gets into position.
They should be able to do this with the weapon differences and the health differentials as well.
Oh, this drone could really mess up Neil.
Oh, well, yeah. Hello, Neil.
They're going for the push. He manages to make it around the corner. The smoke comes up, and Outlaw will take him out. Reload has to be used. Ana now going to fall. Bayohan eliminated. And that'll just be the close-up. Yeah, so only going to be 1 additional kill. Ana, the only other casualty outside of Revi. As the defuse, they got it decently close, but still going to be off. But yeah, 11-3.
Wow, Yudotan already only 1 away from his Hunter's Fury after that first round, and now the defuse. So things are looking pretty good for Noble Experience. They just need 2 more. I mean, sure, RYU right now has the chance, but if RYU loses this one, that's pretty much all she wrote.
Yeah, forking it, we're going to Breeze after that.
And that would be great to watch, especially given that both of these maps seem so heavily favored to one side.
I think Breeze becomes an absolute nightmare.
It's just going to be this fist fight on this giant map.
Yeah. I'd be okay with that. Both teams just decide knife and mid.
Just knife and mid around the pillar?
First to 13, knife and mid around mid pillar.
Honestly, that map would be fun. To knife and mid, honestly. Oh, wow. Lawrence pushed up super aggro up on...
That is not a spot that you often anticipate people to be in, so that could absolutely catch somebody off guard unless they scout forward.
Just a lot of noise made in B, but no particular... What?
Lawrence! How do you mess it up?
Oh my gosh! He slow creeped into vision, and you're not even that... You get 50 damage off, and then the armor off of Bright Blue. This is disastrous.
I mean, that could be their undoing here. I mean, granted, it's still a very long road for them to try to turn this around, but if that is the start of the momentum swing that is necessary, like if RYU actually runs it back off the back of this round, that is going to haunt Lawrence, until the next tournament starts, because this would be...
that would be the end.
That would be the end of it here for Noble Experience, so let's hope for their sake and for his, mental, that's not going to be the case. Push around the corner, Intit finds Revi. Finding his groove here yet again with the Reyna, pulls back into hell.
Yeah, of course. all full rifles on the side of RYU. We are going to see Yudutan swap over to a Phantom, picks it up. So not too bad weapon-wise. And again, Neil on the flank.
Here he goes again, tailwinding, and he does not give a damn. Comes up with 2, and it's a flawless round here now that they get some actual weapons in their hands for the side of RYU, but will it last is the question.
Yeah, the most important thing here to consider for Noble Experience is your loss on that isn't too big, right? You carried over most of your Spectres coming into that round. You know, you're kind of expecting that the weapon difference isn't to your advantage. Unfortunately, the biggest thing is Lawrence, of course, upgrading to that Phantom and then losing it immediately. The flip side is now with that flawless and all these kills, RYU is sitting okay. And you're not already at match point, so Noble Experience has to start to play this pretty carefully. They're going to just stick to Sheriffs, as they had to commit quite a bit in utility and armor every round so far. Oh, NeoX does catch one as they try to aggress through mid. Pretty much similar mirror situation from before, but it's actually now down to a 2v2 after that mess of a fight in front of Garages. Look at all those death markers.
He saw the weapon, but Bright Blue gets the kill. Ana. Just outside, 50 HP remaining. And Spike is just going to be rotated out into the sea.
Yeah, Ana just wants to pick up a weapon here.
Yeah, I mean, he's got, he's got the weapon recovery. He's got the Prime Vandal. It's winnable.
I don't, okay, well, I was going to say, I don't know if they really know yet.
He's got instant. Camera's cleared, so he cannot try to get a dart on him. Good nano swarm the back of the side. The P comes in and he almost lights it up.
Oh, so close.
Oh, good God.
Wow.
By the skin of their teeth, RYU.
That was way closer than it had any right be after he gets hit by that tripwire, but eventually Bright Blue still closes it out. So RYU still...
That should never have happened.
Yeah, it should have never gone down to the wire like that, but RYU will take whatever win they can. So they're still able to replenish their rifles. Of course, now, Noble Experience, after going for the Sheriff's last round, they'll be able to strike back. They also still have that Hunter's Fury now for 2 rounds, so see if that's used just to bring them to match. Oh!
Well, Lawrence nearly catching Bayon. That's why you aim at the wall and try to get the wall back.
There you go. Yeah.
I mean, it's either a bit of damage or you get the kill. So you want to go for the kill, obviously. Trailblazer's like, wait a second.
Double take there.
I saw an omen. He's going to TP out. That is not a fake. The Hawk the second. Okay.
Revy?
All right. Revy just wins that somehow. What? Does get chunked out to 30 HP, but this is, we're in interesting territory.
Okay. We are seeing...
Did you not notice his elbow?
Yeah, I think he was so set on his mind of just trying to swap positions that he gets caught out with his knives out.
Seeker's used. This is just... We're in Bizarro land now. Revy will take down Inti before he falls. That's going to nullify the Empress.
Okay, RYU still able to eventually break into the site after a bit of a mess. Players on both sides seeming to lose a bit of focus here. Bright Blue's got the cam set up. And the drone as well, so they're going to get information that both are coming through from spawn.
Finding nothing. Outlaw ready for the peak. NeoX goes down. Remember's left alive. Bright Blue cutting around the side. Gets a little bit of chip damage in onto him. Now will fall. Sora's pulling way the hell back. Throws out the dart. Here's them tap. Goes for the Hunter's Fury. But somebody's pushing him right now. Is he prepared for it? He gets the kill.
That should be enough. Oh, wait, he got the half.
Already to half. He thinks that it's not going to be enough. Oh, he's so barely open. 0.05. Unbelievable.
Wow.
Yet again, by the skin of their teeth, they close out another round. One member left standing. 0.05 seconds.
Wow. I mean, that's like a win that doesn't feel that great, though.
That's just one of those. That's just one of those things where, like, Outlaw, if he didn't chase like literally one step further into long A, he would have had it.
Yeah. In fact, I don't know. As soon as you peek long and then you don't see them, I think you just go back, right? Because you just trade off. That's your best bet. I mean, obviously in the heat of the moment, it's hard to tell exactly what the result's going to be, but so unfortunate in hindsight with the .05 only needing to finish that second half. So RYU, while it's not the win they wanted, they're going to feel good about it. NEOX pushes aggressively.
Whoa, now he's completely surrounded. Marshall going to be picked up. TP over to the side. Bayon just getting situated in the back of sight now. Knives are drawn out for Lawrence as they look for the retake. The lockdown comes in from Ana. No way to clear this. Just have to try. Keep them off the spike now. Hunter's Fury sent out into long. Looking to line up the knives here. Soros dances around. Keeps himself safe. They go back in for the spray. Ana falls. Lawrence continues to stay situated up top. Drops down with the classic. Will find Bayohan, but Bright Blue trades him right back out. Seems like Yudotan. It's not going to be too long for this world. Sends out a final shock dart, but it's only so much that the guy can do. Now it's going to be completely spotted. Walks right into the crosshair, and RYU are starting to run it back. That is 4 consecutive rounds for them. 4 more, and they will tie this up at 11-11.
Honestly, with how messy things have gotten, I think it might actually be possible. I mean, both teams, we gave them so much praise, obviously, at the first time for RYU on Icebox and then Noble Experience in the first half here, on how they were playing their own game plan, right? They seemed set in their patience, and now it's just, like you said, bizarre world for all 10 players. There are moments where everyone's just kind of doing their own thing.
Yeah.
RYU obviously coming out on top out of that chaos, but see if they can capitalize that momentum now as rifles come back for Noble Experience here in round 19.
Bizarre turn of events.
Yeah, Lawrence is pushed up again, this time just hanging out on the ramp in a short, so see if he is able to redeem himself after the last time he tried to catch them by surprise. Looks like they won't be paying too much attention to A just yet, though.
Well, significantly slowed down now as they just continue to inch forward, looking for some form of information here. Members peeking out into the B site. Dash up. Elex gets himself up top of the box. Tries to reposition. Revy spraying through, goes back, pulls back away for the reload, and as Elex tries to push in to get that punish, Ana is ready with the crossfire, takes him out, and Instant will fall off screen. Now 5v3 for this retake, and basically no post-plant utility available.
And then there's the Cosmic Divide to stop the bullets as well. Okay.
Revy gets a little overzealous there, pushes through the smoke, but as they try to advance in onto the site, Lawrence is situated up top, and the defuse starts to come in. Outlaw will close out 4 kills in that round.
Okay.
As they will finally put their 12th on the board. Noble, they have stopped the momentum here for RYU, but can they seal the deal?
Yeah, it's match point now. They just have to really stay true to their game plan. I played really well there. One of the more unfortunate things for RYU, of course, the shock bolt not clearing all of the Killjoy utility. It was just spread out enough so neither gets hit when it's shot right down the middle. So good placement there from Ana. And then Ana being ready for that crossfire as you see Revy backing out. That was just really well baited to have NEOX push out just a bit too deep. Operator now in the hand of NEOX, attacker operator.
Yep. Well, Dart gonna spot one. Lawrence starts inching forward. Doesn't have the trap wire set up to try to cover. Blind in, and Revy pushes off the back of it. He's made a 1-for-1, but Kid Inted, who's been, you know, maybe less so on this map, but more so on Icebox. He was, you know, obviously one of the top fraggers.
Just going to spot everyone with that Cypher ultimate, and you see them all spread out across the map, so you decide, all right, which way do we stack now that you know they're all holding their own angles.
Sore wrist in a bit of a precarious spot here if they decide to peek the corner. Elex, though, scopes in.
Do it.
Goes to the check, Lawrence. Knocked down. That's going to be the rush now out onto the side. 3v4. Bayohan down to 30 HP. Nobody's moved in yet. Paranoia burned. Bayohan gets spotted in on the site here. Around the back.
Oh!
NEOX is not prepared. What has happened? It's all just falling to pieces.
What? And then NOX wins it off of that. They were already in the site. RYU didn't predict that they would already have made it through from spawn. They only check heaven, and RYU just closes it out in a swift 3 kills.
What is Elix doing in that moment?
Oh, that is...
It's so much time to just get that shot off. Doesn't happen. And now we're going to map 3.
Wow, what a way to that. The later quarter of that map was just absurdity after absurdity, but Noble Experience is going to still hang on to their lead and close it out, bringing it to a 1-1 map score. Wow.
I mean,
that is RYU absolutely should have been able to close out that last round. I mean, even after that, they would have still had many more rounds to go. So I think Noble Experience eventually, obviously, had the upper hand, but wow.
I mean, we came into this saying that we weren't sure who was going to win. And it's very much the same right now, same scenario. So I have no clue what is going to happen as we get ready to go into, this third and final map of Breeze, because we've really only seen Noble play it. It did not go well for them at all. So this is very much up in the air.
Yeah, it's been, especially Haven. I mean, seeing both teams kind of fall into shambles, it was a little tough to tell exactly who was performing at their best throughout that map. Of course, we're seeing just kind of the base stat lines for all the players. And as it goes, I mean, Noble Experience, especially in that first half, they looked very dominant. They just seemed to lose it just a bit in the later parts.
Yeah, this is a very tough one when it comes down to the MVP votes here. I think we're going to be seeing a fair amount of split decisions. I think there's multiple ways that you could go. But yeah, what a weird and wonderful map, I suppose, of Haven. But guys, we are going to be going to a game at number 3. Breeze and Icebox in the same best of 3 series. Are you kidding? That is a first year for us. We'll see who's going to be able to come out on top. Reminder, loser goes home. Need to win this last map to stay in the tournament. We'll see who wins it when we come back.
I feel like I'm in a cage. The walls, they keep closing in. I need a place where I can breathe. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me swim deep, find a better way. Something to light up a spark again. So lift me up to a higher state. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's time to say goodbye, leave it all in shoulders high. We get ready, babe. Get ready, babe. Need you to hold your breath, swim till you reach a deeper end. We get ready, babe. Get ready, babe. It's time to leave, it's time to break free from the shallows, shallows. Whatever means, it's time to break free from the shallows, shallows. It's time to leave, it's time to break free from the shallows, shallows. Whatever means, it's time to break free from the shallows, shallows. I knew what I had to be. Turns out I was too blind to see. Let go of fear and just break free. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's time to say goodbye, leave it all in shoulders high. We get ready, babe. Get ready, babe. Need you to hold your breath, swim till you reach a deeper end. We get ready, babe. Get ready, babe. It's time to leave, it's time to break free from the shallows, shallows. whatever means it's time to break free from the shallows, shallows. It's time to leave, it's time to break free from the shallows, shallows. Whatever means it's time to break free from the shallows, shallows.
It's around the corner, spots out one. That's actually quite.
오, 유도탄.
네.
근데 위에서. 자, 이제 뒤로
근데 위치감이 좋아요. 이거부터 붙이면 되죠. 오늘 급발지가 안 됐고.
레이나가 중요한데
많이 없어요.
한
예,
대나
이러면
잡았어요.
야,
일단
시간이 없어. 그냥 배짱에 쳐야 돼요. 예. 가능한 수를 내놔가지고 이걸 위해서.
이거는 안 나가 비쌀때서 알고 유도.
아, 에임이 많이.
네. 나이는 녹스.
여기를 가야 돼요.
이근데.
인거는 빛이다. 나가야죠.
엄마가 봤습니다만 잘 숨기고 있어요.
네. 이러면 무시로. 자, 이건
자,
좋아요.
소리스.
끌리기
유도탄.
전에 3명의 이러던 전진이었는데 잡히게 되면 말릴 수밖에 없죠. 그때 워낙에 잘 막았잖아요. 자, 나옵니다. 강해찬 그렇죠. 안 짜는데. 써줘야 되는데요.
And we are back, guys. We are going into a map 3, something that's been a bit of a rarity thus far in stage 3, but we are getting the full world tour right now. Icebox Haven now to Breeze. A map that we very much have, obviously the least amount of tape on. And we get to see how these two teams are going to deal with it. I said at the beginning that this could end up being a slobber knocker, and that's exactly what we got. We got some absolutely wild rounds there. That's the only way I can really put it, because the other terminology that comes to mind is not broadcast appropriate. So, we'll see what happens as we get ready to shift into some long sight lines. You can see a bit of a split decision here. All the Koreans very much.
Yeah, what is this?
They have the consensus on Lawrence, who did look good coming in for this roster, and it seems like, Lawrence gives them a little bit of extra firepower that they were severely lacking on Icebox. He comes in, he looks good. So overall, I think it's a fine MVP choice. I was very split on this one. And this is the best part about having players in studios. They can ham it up for the camera. Watching them do it on a webcam in a bedroom in their team house or whatever is just nowhere near as good as up on stage. So always love to see the personalities come out. And Lawrence definitely in the groove. Needs to sit up a little bit more, though. That's not good for your back.
Yeah. We definitely are becoming more cognizant about your posture and such here in Valorant. But going to Breeze, Lawrence feeling good, coming back in for Haven, and gets to take the MVP. And it looks like we didn't have another switch for Breeze, so it's going to be the same lineup for Noble Experience as Lawrence gets to stay on stage. And so does Outlaw, which means Alex will not be playing once again here on Breeze.
I mean, but the curious question that comes to mind now is, do we still see a Viper? Because we have been seeing a fair few of Vipers on Breeze is particularly powerful on defense. I mean, you can just completely lock off either Cave or, your main entrance onto the B site. Do we still see somebody go for the Viper, or are they going to play Viperless without Alex in the roster?
Oh, I think you have to play with Viper on Breeze. I mean, like you said, on
of course
defense,
you think that.
I think you should play Viper on every map. But I think just like you said on defense, and then even on attack, just the fact that she can basically cut the site into a more manageable size, right? Is very different than being able to say, you put a smoke on like one angle or maybe on bridge for A or something like that. It's just doesn't have the same effect. So Baeyohan for Ryu will be picking up the Viper, and it's going to be Yudotan who will be picking up the Viper for Noble Experience. So we'll see if that comes to fruition. We are going to see Outlaw now on the Reyna. Quite a bit of switch-ups here for Noble Experience in terms of what agents they're playing on which map. I always get a little concerned. I mean, it's great if you can make it work, but there is something to be said about having consistency with certain agents and their skills. So see if Noble Experience can use that to their advantage. Meanwhile, Bright Blue is going to be on that Cypher once again, which obviously holds quite a bit of value as well. I'm still torn on Cypher versus Killjoy in terms of if you had to pick on Breeze, but I think both work.
I think being able to send a cam out to scout, on some of these major sites, especially on the attacker side, is just going to prove to be very, very important. As well as on defense, if you can get into, I mean, there's so many different tunnels, and the names are still being worked on and whatnot, but, you've got Snake, you've got Banana, and all of these sort of things. Being able to get a cam out there early and be able to spot for any kind of big flank rotations coming through can be invaluable. But let's see how these guys pilot it, who's going to be coming out on top. One of these teams we're going to have to say goodbye to. See which one it is as we jump on to Breeze.
Tied 1-1. Like you said, I almost forgot myself as this match has been going on for a little bit now, but whoever loses here, that is the last game we'll see from them for a while, at least in the VCT, obviously quite a while.
Yeah.
So obviously this map matters quite a bit for these teams. Even if you don't know what chance you have of getting to the top 4 or something like that, just being able to get more experience and more play time, some more points, a little bit more prize money, it all starts to add up as we see Noble Experience pushing into A site.
Yeah, Baeyohan is going to be taken down, 20 HP off the rip. Really nice little shot there to open it. Push on the corner. Outlaw has the kill. He's got the overhealing. And suddenly, effectively has full armor. Shots being exchanged over from door. It's in place from that angle. Hawk goes up over the top. That's a massive blind, but Sororist in the back will manage to take out Ana. Making this a 4v4. Bonus on Ryu to try to get this retake on the site. Dart spots one.
Yep, and Noble Experience quite concerned with the flank. So Viper just going to provide utility for now, but might want to come back to the team.
Tin finds another, then falls. Outlaw will get picked up. Dart spots two.
Oh, it has the snake bite ready.
DLX going in for it. Starting to hold here on the spike, and he's just going to keep holding it. They need to stop him right now.
Oh,
they just can't make it happen.
The snake bite not getting the job done. I don't know exactly where it landed as we had the poison cloud as well, but she was holding the flank and then ready with the snake bite. It doesn't get the job done, so you see the Viper trying to rush in, but by then it's a bit too late. So defuse for the spike is going to come through for Ryu, and they take the first round.
Yeah, a very solid start, and definitely not one that they likely anticipated, given how that round had kicked off. I mean, losing Baeyohan right off the rip, not a great look, but it's going to be a little bit more of an investment this time here in the second round for them compared to when they were ahead on Icebox.
Lawrence picking up that Marshall early here despite the first round loss, just trying to counteract any sort of buys. Obviously, the Marshall potentially having more power here on Breeze than the Spectres, depending on how you're positioning yourself. So pretty good buy here for Lawrence if he can get just 1 or 2 picks.
Good damage out, Yudotan falling, and he doesn't trade anything back. Nice shot as Baeyohan just continuing to bait out some of his Marshall shots. Tagged up, gets a great headshot on the Neil X over at Bridge. Blinds continue to fly, but they're prepared for them wrapping around from behind. They find the kills. Outlaw gone, now Ana dead. Still 4 members strong, and Baeyohan holding things down here in the back of sight. So
boy,
Hawk
they're
goes
pushing
out, the
in.
blind comes in, a little bit of extra damage. Soros presses forward. We'll find 3 kills here to close out the second round.
Yeah, so only 1 kill, and coming from that Marshall, not able to do much more. I mean, when you lose all your teammates like that, it's really hard to try to find a good position to get those picks around those corners, and then good push out from RYU, just not giving any more time or space to potentially get taken out with another headshot from that Marshall going in off the flash, and all members pushing forward. Lawrence not much of a chance. We are still going to see
모조리 처치.
rifles all come out. Just half armor for Lawrence, though. Just a slow start. Clearing out mid here for Noble Experience.
And it just shows for a moment, gets rid of the dart.
Outlaw's already pushed up. And so is Lawrence. The mid's pretty well covered, and they're going to check with the guiding light as well. So information that mid has been given over. There comes the toxic screen, and that means they can't push out further than that.
Just look to hold them in position here for now. Creeping around the side, though. Looks like B is inevitably going to end up being the target. Trailblazer sent out. Tag goes in onto Revy. Dart into the back. Will spot one. Spots another. Bright Blue throwing down the cyber cage as they come around the corner. Spraying through. Bright Blue will fall.
So Yudotan going to get that first kill, and now they've taken down 3 members at the cost of 1. They are going to get that spike planted safely here on B. Well positioned as well.
Yep. An extremely good look for them. As they have this deep lurk here from Outlaw.
They spotted him early on in the round. The question is, do you suspect he's still there?
Well,
not fully.
He did a little bit of a double take, but still does get outgunned. Nice headshot connection in the end. Finishes him off, and Soros with not a whole lot to be done. He's going to come creeping around the side, maybe try to catch him in mid.
Yeah, just wants to get a pick or 2 here.
Spot each other, but Yudotan will have it in the end. 3 for him, and a first round victory for Noble.
Okay, I mean, good patience, and then off of the dart. I mean, when you spot both like that, just pushing in, really good timing there from Noble Experience. I still could have gone a little bit, the other way, depending on how that cyber cage played out, but just a consistent push and making sure that they're not leaving their backs open, maybe cutting the corner too close. Allows Noble Experience to take that, and Outlaw just being patient here near mid was really monumental in making sure that there's no extra damage done against their economy.
Yep, now the pit is online for Yudotan, so if they can get themselves in onto the site, he can absolutely lock it down. You have heavy investment of weapons here. So for the side of RYU, we want to try to turn this momentum around. I mean, he's just been playing the spot consistently. He's got the judge and catches Lawrence off guard. Seeker's going to be used by Ana. Guiding light as well. Going to be thrown back behind the pyramids. Gets that blind in on the Johan, but it's going to expire. As I say that though, Revy pushes the right side. Will displace the enemy Viper. Now the pit will come through, but Soros finds Revy before the walls come up. Dart bounced around the side, looks for a bit of damage. Doesn't find too much of anything though. As Neil is having to dodge over to the side.
Just trying to get some spray down through the Viper's pit.
A little bit of lucky spray, and that will be Yudotan falling.
Yudotan just hanging on for dear life here, right at the edge of the pit.
That guiding light basically guarantees that everybody's going to be playing inside of the Viper's pit right now. They go pressing in, Soros dead, Ana falling. 2 members playing together. Still standing. Looking for a bit of a split now, but Inted, he goes down. Bright Blue comes charging in. Will line up. One cannot get Outlaw. This will be the last one up, and they will tie it 2-2.
Okay, I mean, well played. Like you mentioned, really smart guiding light to confirm that they're all in the pit, but at the end of the day, a little bit low on health and coming on from all sides for the opponents. You're not able to really hold them off in time, and then Outlaw stays alive to the very end, picks out that last one. So good use of the pit as well. I think as soon as you clear that early portion, I mean, you saw the judge was there, so you don't want to risk going too deep into the site, but you're able to just have it go into the plant site, so you're securing that spike plant.
Oh well, okay. As Rest push forward, is he ready for the other 2 around the corner? The answer is hell yeah, he is. Lawrence finds a second, and Nana's there to pick up the pieces as Bright Blue falls, and Lawrence doesn't even take a sliver of damage. Just like that. 3 members gone. Bayhan's like, well, I don't have a shot. Nothing to look at here other than green.
Yeah, just trying to get a cheeky angle through those arches, but not giving a moment. I mean, there's no reason to, right? Noble Experience, all 5 members alive with rifles. This being a bit of an eco from RYU.
Yeah, I mean,
Couple of shots.
taking a couple hits, does manage to tag on once, but the Soul Wrist now going to fall. Blind comes in, and I mean, they can fully approach. You have everybody charging in, everybody's blind, but it doesn't matter. A flawless round here for Noble Experience to take the lead, 3-2.
Yeah, it's starting to come together for Noble Experience. Looks like they have some good reads as well. As soon as they saw the economy of the opponents, they just decided exactly how to make sure that they get the advantage there. Of course, the first pick, and then the guiding light, securing more for Lawrence. So good entries into B, and also just constantly kind of hopping back between A and B. We've seen, just simply because the map is new, more teams kind of leaning heavily towards one side or the other. Noble Experience looks comfortable enough for now on both sides. As NEOX has picked up an operator, he's going to be playing B though, so this means that the rest of the team a bit open for the other. Oh,
push in, comes
What?
in. Inted finds 2. Right in mid. Great press right through doors.
Well,
They're now trying to hold this down, but Ana's going to fall. The Seeker's going to be used just to find